All right, let's dive into one of the most intense, frankly, one of the most pivotal stories in the entire book of Genesis, the binding of Isaac. This is a story that people have debated and wrestled with for centuries, and it really forces all of us to face a pretty profound question.
And that's really what this whole thing boils down to, right? The entire story just hinges on this one single question that really gets to the core of what it means to believe. Seriously, what is the ultimate test of faith?
Okay, so let's set the scene here. Where does this all kick off? Well, you have to remember this is happening after years and years of promises. Abraham's been promised a land, he's been promised countless descendants, and it's right after all of this that the text says God decides to put Abraham to the test.
And the command, wow. It begins with these words that are just absolutely chilling. Get this, just try to imagine Abraham hearing this direct instruction. Take now your son,
Your only son Isaac, whom you love, and offer him. The text is just so specific, right? It's like it's twisting the knife with every single word. It's not just any son. This is Isaac, the long-awaited heir, the son of the promise. And you have to understand, in that culture, your only son, he carried the entire future of your family line. The stakes, they just could not be any higher.
So what happens next? Does Abraham argue? Does he plead? Nope. What follows is just immediate, silent obedience. He just starts a 3-day journey to the land of Moriah. Can you even begin to imagine the weight of that silence on that trip?
That journey itself had to be just agonizing. On day 1, Abraham gets up early, no hesitation. Day 2, they just keep going. It's not until the 3rd day that he finally sees the place. Think about that. 3 full days to just think about this completely unthinkable command.
And then, the silence is finally broken, and it's Isaac who breaks it. He's literally carrying the wood for his own sacrifice, and he asks this innocent, absolutely heart-wrenching question. It just cuts right to the bone, to the unspoken horror of what they're doing.
Abraham's reply is just incredible. It's so cryptic, but at the same time, it's just overflowing with this unwavering faith. My son, God will provide for himself the lamb. What does that even mean? Is he just trying to protect his son from the truth, or is he actually speaking a prophecy? The text doesn't tell us. It just leaves it open, and they just keep walking together.
Okay, so this brings us to the climax, the absolute peak of the story. The journey's over. They've made it to the mountain. This is it, the moment of truth.
And what Abraham does next is just chilling in how methodical it is, step by step. First, he builds the altar. Then he arranges the wood. Then he binds his own son Isaac and lays him on top of it. And finally, he stretches out his hand and he takes the knife. Every single one of these deliberate actions just builds the suspense to a point where it's almost unbearable.
And then, at the very last possible second, a voice calls out from heaven. The angel of the Lord steps in, telling him, "Stop." The release of tension in that one moment must have been just immense.
And right here, the whole point of the test is revealed. This was never about God actually wanting Isaac to die. It was all about revealing what was in Abraham's heart. The angel says it plainly, "For now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." See, the test was about trust. It was about whether Abraham truly believed in God's goodness, even when faced with a command that made absolutely no sense. And Abraham, he passed.
So with the test complete, the whole mood of the story just shifts. We go from this intense trial to a moment of blessing. Abraham's radical, unwavering obedience is met with, first, a divine provision, and second, a powerful reaffirmation of the covenant God had with him.
And remember what Abraham said earlier? God will provide. Well, just as he foretold, a substitute is provided. He looks up, and there it is, a ram caught in a thicket by its horns. So that ram becomes the offering, taking Isaac's place. And to mark this incredible moment forever, Abraham gives the place a name. He calls it Yahweh Yireh, which means, you guessed it, the Lord will provide. And that name just perfectly captures the central lesson of this whole ordeal, doesn't it? That in the moment of your greatest, most desperate need, a provision is made.
And because Abraham was obedient, the original promise he was given, it isn't just renewed, it's amplified. It gets bigger. It becomes this foundational covenant. First, his descendants will be as numerous as the stars in the sand. That's a promise of legacy. Second, they'll possess the gate of their enemies, a promise of strength. And maybe most importantly, this blessing isn't just for his family, Through his lineage, it's going to extend to all nations on earth, which means this deeply personal test just became an event with global significance.
So now that this massive, global-scale covenant is locked in, the story kind of pulls back. Think of it like a camera zooming out. We go from this super intense, personal focus on Abraham and Isaac on the mountain to the broader family story. And it's all about setting the stage for how this incredible promise is going to be carried on to the next generation. So, Abraham gets some news about his extended family, specifically his brother Nahor's side. And tucked away in this family tree update is a name that you're gonna want to remember, Rebekah. She's Nahor's granddaughter. Now, this isn't just some random piece of trivia. The story is literally planting a seed here, introducing us to the future wife of Isaac.
So when all is said and done, this absolutely gripping story, this intensely personal test of one man's faith on a lonely mountain, it leaves us with a much, much bigger question to chew on. How can a single act of faith, one person's choice, go on to shape the destiny of entire nations?